Hello, today I want to show you how to make this no waste vegetable stock concentrate paste. So I've got it in my meal plan. I will just click into the recipe. Before I get started, I do want to show you what it looks like on the screen. This recipe can be made on any model Thermomix, but I'm showing you how to make it in the TM7 today. I found this recipe in the TM7 manifesto. And it's very similar to our normal veggie stock concentrate paste, but I thought it would be a good example to show you how the TM7 works. So on your screen here, when you're in a recipe, it gives you the info about it. You can just keep scrolling to see everything. So ingredients are here, your method, any tips. You can add notes to recipes. You've got tags in case you want to go to other similar recipes, nutrition guide, what collection it came from. So this is from the Homemade Basics collection in your TM7 manifesto, but it's also on Cookie Doo, and some other suggestions. And if I go all the way back up to the top, you may have noticed if you press these buttons, so that I kept scrolling, but overview is this, ingredients, and then if we go to preparation, it's the method, tips, or more. So you don't have to keep scrolling, you can just shortcut to what you want to be. But I want to get started. So I will press start. Okay, I'll show you what happens here. It knows I've got the lid on, so I need to take that off before I get to my first ingredient. So I'm putting in an onion. I haven't measured it. I don't know how much it's going to weigh. So it's a little bit under, and that's okay. I'll still tick it and go to the next one. Now this recipe just asks for 800 grams of mixed vegetables. I have got a whole board here of random things. I've got my broccoli stalk because I'm going to use the head tonight, but I just wanted to use the stalk, so that will go in. So as I'm adding in, the scales are weighing it here. I've got some carrot. I haven't bothered peeling it. You can use peelings and you can use ends. I've left the ends on. I don't know if you can see that. I haven't, yeah. And my zucchini, again, left the ends on, which you're allowed to do. Up to you though. It's all optional. And I do have some tomato halves. My kids, actually I shouldn't say kids, one kid particular cuts half a tomato and puts it in the other half in the fridge, but then the next day she gets a new tomato and does it again. Anyway, I need to talk to her about that. And then I've got, we don't like celery, so whenever a recipe asks for celery, I use whatever I need, and I put the rest in the freezer in a bag. I just chop it up roughly. So I've got these frozen celery bits that I'm going to add in as well. All just going in the bowl, and I'm going to watch. Hopefully you can see I'm at 700, and I'll just keep adding until it gets to 800 because that's what the recipe here is telling me to do. So it's very easy to follow the on-step instructions. I need more than what I'm doing. See, now I've gone over, and you're allowed to go over in stock. That's fine. But I did want to show you what happens when you get the correct amount. You don't need to tick it yourself. It comes all the way over here and ticks it and automatically goes to the next step for you. So it's asking us to put in a bunch of herbs. I've got, again, some of this parsley was in the freezer because I had so much one day and I wasn't using it, so I put it in the freezer. But the rest is from my garden. I've got oregano, rosemary, and a little bit of basil. And I had some sage as well. So whatever herbs you want to use, I'll tick that, and I'm going to press next to get to the next step. So it's telling me to make sure I'm below the max line, which is fine. I can see there I'm under, and we want to chop. So it's telling me to put the lid on. Over here I can see, put your lid on, and then once your lid's on, you're allowed to press play. Now I can see on my board that I've forgotten these garlic, so I've pressed pause. I'm going to open my lid and pop them in. Anytime you want to do that, you just pause the recipe, take the lid off, do what you want to do. Once your lid's back on, your play button's back. So it's telling me to press next. And now I can see it's done a pretty good job of chopping all those ingredients. There's still a few left to chop. And the reason I wanted to show you that, I actually had a feeling it wouldn't all chop in those 10 seconds, but I wanted to show you how you can go back and do it again. Anytime in a recipe, this is on all guided cooking models, so TM5, TM6, TM7, you can go back and do it again. And each model has a different way of doing it, but I'm just going to set that as my current step and press play. So, okay, so we'll scrape again. Looks very chopped now. Probably didn't need all 10 seconds of that extra step, but that's okay. You can see it there. It's not a very good looking it's not a very good looking recipe. So now, this is the first time I've made this version, and now I've seen that they have actually allowed for the fact that you scrape it down and chop it again. And I just did that manually because that's what I used to do in the other recipe I used. So now I've seen you don't need to go back, but I'm still happy I showed you how to go back. So you can do that in any recipe. You can go back and forward. And so now I can show you another cool thing. If I don't want to do a step, I just press skip. I don't want to chop this again. You can see it's already very chopped. So I'm going to skip that and go to our next step, which is to add our salt. I've got a giant bag of salt here. I want to add 150 grams. Now, I'm going to bring this closer so you can see what's happening on the screen. So, this is going to look like a lot of salt. But I just want to let you know, when you are using your veggie stock paste, you're really only using a tablespoon of it in your whole dinner. So the end result is not going to be very salty. The salt is needed for that flavor and that ability to preserve the recipe. So, and now I'm going to add some peppercorns. So yeah, don't feel too shy about all that salt going in. Add a few peppercorns, and I'll tick that off, and a tablespoon of olive oil. Now, anytime you want, I'm just going to drizzle it in, but anytime you want, if you want the scales to come up, you can press your cooking center up here and go to your, and go to your scales, which are now over here. And so if you know that your tablespoon of olive oil weighs 15 grams or 20 grams, whatever you know your olive oil weighs, you can use your scales. And when you're ready to come back into the recipe, press the cooking center and you're back. And I'll press next. So now it wants us to cook. So I'm going to put the lid on. Lid going on. And once the lid's on, the green button is there to press play. This is set to cook for 20 minutes at 120 degrees, speed 1. And you probably can't hear it through the video. I can't hear it either. It's silent. This synchronous motor is silent, and because we're at a low speed, yeah, it's very, very quiet. But I will come back after 20 minutes. That has finished now, so I will press next, and it wants me to blend. So I'll just show you before I do what we have here. It's been cooking away. Oh, it's just steaming up the camera. That's okay. All we need to do now is blend. So 1 minute on blend speed 9. So I'll just press play. And it's ready. So now it's just telling us to store it. But if I take this off, it's going to steam up my camera again. So I'll show you this way. Again, as I said earlier, not the prettiest looking dish that we make in our Thermomix, but this is liquid gold. So additive free, very cheap, low waste stock paste that is a concentrate. So 1 tablespoon can be added to 500 mils of water to make 500 mils of liquid stock. Um, and so yeah, there you go. The other thing about it is, so it makes about a liter. Oh, that's why I was scraping it down to show you. It is at the 1 liter quantity mark, maybe just a bit below. I don't know if you can see. So yeah, if you've got a 1 liter container, it does last in your fridge for a few months, or you can, because of all the salt in it, it doesn't freeze hard in the freezer. It stays soft and scoopable in the freezer. So you can just put it in a tub in there and scoop it as you need it. Yeah, so delicious.